Gallo, also known as the 5-Foot Traveler. I'm a destination marketer and travel expert, and I consult brands and companies with their marketing strategies. I've been to 114 countries across all 7 continents, and I've obviously been affected by the coronavirus like millions of people around the world. The coronavirus has no boundaries. It's affecting people, countries, and economies globally, and devastating industries around the world. It was actually declared a pandemic while I was overseas working with a tourism board in Norway. My business partner and I were quarantined in a cabin for over a week, and I had 6 canceled flights before I was able to make it back to the States. Of course, I'm incredibly grateful that I had a roof overhead and a comfortable place to stay while we were stuck overseas. Once I got back to the States, I had to completely isolate in an Airbnb to ensure that I didn't unintentionally expose my family to the virus. Ultimately, it took me 26 days of actively trying to get home before I was able to crawl into my own bed. While all of my travel plans have been put on pause, I spend my days dreaming about the places that I want to visit once the travel bans are lifted. I had the absolute pleasure of visiting Egypt for the first time last year, and it far exceeded my expectations. It was incredible to be able to witness such ancient and preserved history firsthand, and I cannot imagine experiencing Egypt any other way. Of course, during the coronavirus pandemic, we have had to adapt the way that we promote tourism. Travel is the biggest industry in the world, and for many countries, it's their largest source of revenue, just as it is for Egypt. Many industries are being crippled by the coronavirus, particularly the travel and hospitality industry. And as a traveler, I feel a responsibility to stay home to protect what I love, while also acknowledging the importance to prepare for the surge in tourism in the future. My schedule was booked through September with incredible trips in incredible places, but those have all been canceled or postponed for when it's safer for everyone. Rather than being upset about the change in plans, I'm learning to adapt my business model just like many other creatives around the world. And that's why we need to work together to reshape Egypt's narrative for the time being as we adapt to the new normal and prepare for what is to come. While countries around the world are on lockdown, we have to find a way to highlight the beauty of Egypt while continuing to pique interest. One way to do this is through 3D tours of popular tourism sites and museums. And while this has been a popular global trend, I believe that it's a way to pique interest without replacing the actual in-person experience. It's a substitution, so to speak. There's truly nothing like witnessing the pyramids in person, seeing a mummy in real life, cruising down the Nile, walking into the tombs, and staring up at the hieroglyphs. There's nothing like someone passionately explaining the history to you while you're standing in front of something so ancient that it's hard to even comprehend. While I would like to see Egypt provide virtual experiences so that people can learn more about the beautiful country, I don't believe that 3D will ever be able to replace the real thing. I know that the Grand Egyptian Museum has postponed its opening date, so I'd suggest that now is the time to release teasers of what is to come and what will be found inside once it's open. My hope is that through teasers and 3D experiences, we could showcase some of the best of what Egypt has to offer, while ultimately drawing in tourists when we're free to travel again. Now, I know that there's a lot of anxiety, uncertainty, and things we cannot control about this situation. But what we can control is our attitude. The way we treat others is in our control. Being respectful and compassionate is in our control. Trying to find the silver lining in every situation is in our control. And I recognize that a lot of people and workers are struggling. So we need to have an abundance of patience and be willing to help one another whenever we can. When we approach these difficult situations with a positive outlook, that has the ability to influence others. And once things go back to normal and people recover their finances, We will continue exploring the world because it's the best way to witness firsthand how we are all connected.